Hello, I'm Alexis Duran. And yeah, I haven't gotten around to doing one of these videos in a while. Also, yes, I'm wearing my gym jams. And I'm very tired. You might be asking why. It's because October tends to be a very busy time of year for me. Besides these dealing with the supernatural videos, I actually have to deal with the supernatural. Kind of run a side thing where deal with stuff of the supernatural nature for people, governments, corporations, individuals, organizations, groups. I'm pretty sure I said organizations twice. I long story short, this month tends to kick my tushy somewhat good. Why? 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 Oh, sorry, I'm still actually drowsy here. No, the real reason why is because of a number of reasons. There's a convergence during this time of year. The dimensions, the supernatural, the metaphysical, and the physical, and the weird and what you call normal start to collide. Some say it's just random luck. This is just the time of year where it settles. Some say it's the location of the Earth and starting in nexus of pangalactic levels. Some say it's just a part of magic and sorcery and metaphors, where fall counts as a threshold season and thresholds have properties. You know what? I have a lot of theories on that, but I can't really back much of it up. It stands on its own. It's good. There's nothing inherently wrong with it. But it's like gravity. You can't exactly prove it. That's why we call it a theory, people. It's called a theory for a reason. You just need a few more details to make that fact. But anyway, for October, I plan to do something a little different. I'm not going to tell you how to deal with the supernatural. I'm going to tell you how I deal with supernatural things. Why? Because it's Halloween season. Why not tell a ghost story before bed? So, I hope you're ready. Pull up your blankets, get your pillows, drink your hot cocoa, get that flashlight ready, and I'll tell you a story. And considering some of the movies that have come out as of late, I think this story is probably most fitting. Let me tell you a tale. We'll start off centuries ago in a small village in Europe. A little cabin, just a little hut, a little rut out of a thing, nothing special about it. But then they hear the laughter of someone outside. Normally, you don't think much of laughter. You think, oh, someone told a joke, something happy happened. But this wasn't normal laughter. This was laughter one heard at near midnight. The streets, the town, everything was pitch black. Why would anyone be out there? Why would anyone be laughing? Moving back into the future, let's go to 1977 in a small suburban town of Chicago. The ringing of a bell, something soft, something gentle. A child, bit later up than they should be, walks to the window and sees a clown just walking down the street. The clown pauses and turns. It knows someone is watching it. It turns and looks at the child and smiles a terrible Cheshire grin. The child doesn't know why it's scared, just that the clown spotted it, that something's wrong, something is terrible, and moves away from the window. Let's start in the early 90s up in Canada. An old woman is getting ready for bed, locking up the doors when she pauses. She sees across the window outside her house a clown outside holding a balloon, doing nothing in particular, just standing there, watching her, watching the street, just standing there as if waiting for something. creepy, right? If I don't know if you guys recall this, but stuff like this came up in the last couple of years. You probably saw some meme about it, some news on the TV or on the internet. People making weird reports about clowns walking through graveyards, walking down the street late at night. It's weird, right? The thing is, I look into this weird stuff. It's sort of my very poorly paid job. Honestly, if I get asked for more than $5, I'd have to report it to the government, and they're already breathing down my neck. Anyway, the point is, this stuff's been happening for a while. A couple of years ago, I thought these clown things were weird. I had a gut feeling, and I looked it up. This stuff's happened for a long, long while. In October, in fall season, before this whole convergence, before the land of the dead and the living converge, a clown would show up somewhere in the world, somewhere, Europe, Asia, Africa, wherever. Some sort of clown would materialize. They wouldn't do much, just people would report seeing a creepy clown walking around at night for an entire month. Then they'd vanish. It sounded odd. It didn't make any sense to me. So I kept digging in, mostly because the news was now catching on to it. There were clowns in a city just walking around doing creepy stuff. So I searched. This pattern repeated. As soon as the press got around, you'd hear little weird tales of clowns just walking around the street. Normally not doing anything troublesome, just being super creepy. A few reports of people trying to fight them, but that's about it. Nothing weird. But I kept digging. Something seemed off. All my experience with ghosts and goblins was telling me something was off here. Then I found it. Reports scattered right after. Once Halloween rolled around and it was gone, there was no more signs of clowns. Some people reported, just people playing pranks, getting a little steam out of their whatever steam comes from. And it seems normal enough. But this is what I found. Right after the clowns vanished, there were these weird missing people reports wherever they were. And missing people is weird on its own when you don't find them. But the thing is, people went missing but weren't missed. One of the reports I found was in early 80s, there was a woman who called the cops around early November. They went to their house. They reported that the woman was fine, and so were her 3 children. But the woman was in a panic, upset. They're trying to calm her down. The thing was, she said something was wrong with her children, with her house, with her life. The thing was, someone was missing, but she couldn't remember. She pointed out to these various pictures around her house of a man standing beside her. One prominently next to her while she wore her wedding dress. She remembered being at a wedding. She remembered having a wedding, but she couldn't remember the man. She couldn't remember the children's father. The children couldn't remember a father, but there were pictures there of him. There were clothes of another man in her closet. She couldn't remember them. Now, another report I found similar is from early colonial times. There were reports of a clown walking around the streets, an eerie, creepy clown. And then there was this woman crying day after day afterwards. They were calling her a mad woman who wouldn't stop crying. The thing was, she reported in her house there were clothes for a child, toys for children, but there was no child. And whenever she looked at them, she just felt this undying grief. And this thing kept happening across the world, right after these sightings of these clowns. Few people would notice something's wrong. There would be things that didn't belong to them, objects that they couldn't find reason for ever buying or having, but they were there and something didn't let them throw them away. Pictures with people they never saw, memories, children they had, but didn't remember their parents, loved ones that they never knew, suddenly gone with no recollection of a name. Each of these cases was an odd little thing, and there was always a clown preceding them. Now, a couple of years ago, I decided, you know what, I'm going to look into this. I'm going to the city where these clowns are popping up, and I'm going to check them. And I did. The thing is, I don't remember what happened. I made some notes to myself about clowns, mythology, these things. But once Halloween rolled around, I don't remember facing these clowns. I don't remember what happened. I remember I went there and stuff happened, but I couldn't remember. And I have a pretty good memory. Next year, I heard the story about more clowns showing up again in America. So I went to check it out, and I don't remember what happened. I made notes. But most of it came out as gibberish. I couldn't remember. I even went back to both cities and asked them, people I talked to. They remembered a clown. They remembered I was there. Some even had vague recollections of me talking to the clown, which I don't never remember doing. And when I asked them what I said, they couldn't exactly recall it themselves. Now, last year, I really wish I filmed it or something. I think I tried, but I couldn't find any footage of it. I looked through all my computers. My notes were best half finished. I remember a clown. I remember discovering something. I remember a breeze. I remember swirling air around us. I remember my heart racing in my chest, fear gripping me. I remember laughter. I don't know what happened. I, 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 I don't know. I checked my contacts. I checked with all my friends, anyone I might have taken with me. I checked my files, did what I could to make sure I accounted for everyone I knew. But I don't remember. I don't. Whenever these clowns showed up and then they left, someone went missing. Someone. Not sure why. Food, maybe it was something to balance their own emergence into this world. Maybe there was just another reason I couldn't figure out. And I just don't have answers for that. And last year, I faced them. I know that. I do remember facing the clowns. Whatever they are, not people with makeup. They were something far, far scarier. I don't remember what happened. I I checked the city. The last city they visited, the last year, there were missing people. There's always gonna be missing people, especially around Halloween. Things happen. But everyone else seemed to be accounted for. Memories were accounted for. The thing that gets me, the thing I remember, is sometimes not everyone's remembered. The case files that I looked through, the stories, the news articles, most of them said someone went missing. Sometimes they're just people who no one will miss. And I I want to hope, I want to say that last year was ended. That I did something. That's nightmare, that legend is over. I want to say that. I hope that that's the case. This year I haven't heard any stories about clowns, even with the movies popping up or anything. I'm just afraid somebody did get taken away. Yeah. I want to say it's over. I really do. But I'm not an optimist. And I'm not that hopeful. Maybe I just delayed them. Maybe next year they'll show back up. I hope not. I really don't know if I'll even be around to remember next time they do. I really don't like clowns. Never did. I'm just glad this year we don't have to deal with crazy clowns. Just sometimes I worry, especially at night when it's all quiet like this, when October comes around and the fall breeze is ringing. That one night I'm gonna hear that laugh. I'm gonna hear that laugh, the ringing of the bells, and one day I won't be able to stop it. That'll be the one forgotten. And that day I'll get my answer. I'll know what happened to everyone else. I don't think I want to know. I really don't. There's just some answers I'd rather not have. Questions better left unasked. And I hope that was the end. I really do. And I guess I'll end it for here right now. It's not exactly a happy ending there. It's possibly an ending. It might not be. So for now, I'll leave it as that. Leave comments, subscribe, and do all that stuff. Personally, I'm going to try to get some sleep. The way things have been, what little crisis and calamities I've had to deal with, I might just be forced to do a couple more of these videos at night, warning you guys about some of the stuff that might rise up these Halloween nights. In case I can't do any more videos for this Halloween season, just be careful. Use your better judgment. And have a happy Halloween. I've been Alexi Duran. And if you need help, well, I'll see if I can help you. Peace.